Hey, Zach Bennetson here with Frameworks.Solutions. Have you ever sent a survey to your clients only to review those answers once, then save it to your shared drive and allow it to start collecting virtual dust, never to be seen again? Now, how can we build surveys that we can actually use going forward? We want the data to be evergreen, we want the answers to be useful, and we want to be able to surface it from any part of our CRM rather than to be buried on a PDF somewhere on our drive. Let's go ahead and see what that build would look like in Airtable. To do this, we're going to need three pieces. First is a surveys database that will live within our larger CRM and Airtable. The next will be an automation that will automatically relate any survey submitted with a person, a client, in our Airtable database. And then the last one is an interface or dashboard that will allow us to view the information in a friendly UI UX. So first I'm here on the surveys database. This page will capture any survey that I create and send out to clients. Right now, there's only one survey that I've created called the Investor Sentiment Survey, which is denoted by this ISS prefix ahead of a bunch of fields. I have just a couple questions with some drop downs that a client could select and a couple fields that will allow them to type in longer form answers if they need to do so. So let's go ahead and look at what that looks like on the form builder view now. We'll see here, we have the investor sentiment survey, we have a logo up in the top, and we have a very short survey that we could send to a client. They'd fill out their name, which is the only required field here, and then they would go ahead and select the dropdowns for each of the answers that most relates to their situation. You'll see a couple fields with this I logo here. That means they won't show up unless a condition is met. So for example, this add additional accounts you've used won't show up unless they select other from among this list. Now, here's what it's going to look like from the client side of things. They'll get a nice clean page. They'll get your logo in the top. And when they start typing their name into here, it will run an automation in the background after it's submitted, which I'll show you now, that will relate it to someone in our database, right? So what this is saying here is when a form is submitted, find a record where the name from that survey equals a contact name within our database. If that exists, just send us a Slack message to say, hey, this client submitted a survey. And if a person record doesn't exist, go ahead and create a new one. Send us a message saying, hey, a survey came in and this person's not in your CRM already. Once that's done, we can go ahead and view those answers, but we don't have to just look at them in this database view. We can go ahead and look at them on the interface side of things and use a dashboard that I built out already. So if one client has submitted them, we'll just use this ISS survey one. And so, for example, I can go ahead and look at, I know I saw one come in from Julius Caesar. I can see his answers here in an easier way than just, right, like on a PDF, on the database view itself. We can show this to the client. We can use it to review ahead of a meeting with the client. But what if we had both spouses from a household submit a form, right? We don't want them on the same form. We want to get each of their answers separately. What we can do there is use the joint view. And we'll see before that Henry and Claire Bennington both submitted a survey. And I can drop Henry's name onto the left side and Claire's onto the right side and review both of their answers at the same time. Again, we could show this live during client meeting to spark conversations about how they have different feelings about investments. We could have this as an internal page only. And if we submitted the same survey from the client year over year, we could build this in such a way that we can see how their sentiment has changed over time. This is obviously much more powerful than getting a PDF saved to your folder drive, and it's a way for you to push this data into really any part of your CRM system wherever you see fit. Now, if this sparks creativity for the way you might want to build for your business, feel free to reach out and let's see what we can build together. Thanks.